Her story, our story, 1 hour of power. It's an online, free, private group for women. There's a huge disconnect between what we go after and what we really want. Let's move forward. Join her story, our story, 1 hour of power. Do you sometimes feel unfulfilled and confused about your purpose? You don't have to go it alone. Come on over to the No Judgment Zone where you're going to connect with other like minded women from all over the world and receive support from others who have been through similar situations. Everyone has a story. What's your story? Seeking guest speakers. Do you have a story, talent, or ability that you would love to share? We invite you to be our guest. Hello and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. My name is Stephanie Wall. They call me Speaker Stephanie. I am the CEO and founder of Speaker Stephanie LLC and the founder of Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power, and the founder of 1 million lives transformed, where we transform lives, relationships, and finances. The goal is for every woman, every person to transform their lives. I particularly super serve those women who've experienced trauma in their lives. Welcome to Her Story, Our Story. Remember, you belong here. You belong there. You belong everywhere. Be sure to shine your light. My name is Stephanie Wall, and I'm certainly getting it all. Come on in.
Hello everyone and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. My name is Hope Jackson, founder of Always Hope, and my purpose and goal is to help women to unlock what is hidden inside them. I know from experience that sometimes in life when you're going through dark times, you don't realize the purpose that you have inside of you. So my goal is to help you to find that and just to remind you that no matter what you go through in life, there is always hope.
Come on to the screen. Hey, Hope. I was like, I'm not seeing us. Wait. Girl,
I'm here.
Jesus. Well, so Hope, how was your day?
It was a very interesting day. Day 2, new job. You on mute.
So
Well,
it was an unbelievable day.
yes, it was.
That's what we said. I get it. So you all listen. Me and Hope are going to bring on our special guest in a few minutes, but she and I are going to chit chat because we want you all to know what the topic is about today. So welcome. This is your first time to Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. It's just 1 hour, just 1 hour for us to just give you some information to inform you so that we can transform your world. So we have a special guest tonight, but before we bring our special guest on, our special guest, we still want to do the same. We're going to ask them the same little intro questions and we'll have to help them out. But if you are someone if you're married and you're watching, whether now or later during the replay, I want you to just type me in the chat, me. If you're married or you have a partner or you've been married or you have somebody that you are seeking that live with you and that you would want them to support you on this entrepreneur journey or whatever journey that you're on. So Hope, have you ever been in a relationship and you launched something? You had a dream of doing something, and you went for it. You went for that dream. I have two questions for you. One, did you tell your partner, your spouse, your friend, your boyfriend, your man? Did you tell them about your dream before you launched it? And then when you did do it, did you feel supported either way?
No and no. So I did not. So when I wrote my book, and I was in the process of getting it published. I kept it to myself. Like I told close family, like my mom, my sister, things like that. But the person I was dating at the time, I did not tell them. I did tell them when it was launching to get published, but I still didn't feel like the support.
Why? Why didn't you tell? Why didn't you?
I guess I just didn't feel supported in a relationship. Like I didn't like when I was going through things. Like I think personally, like I think they support it, but I think they just had a different way of doing it. And I like for me, I couldn't see it, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the support. So it may have been there. I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't feel it, and I didn't see it. So
Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm with you. And when once you did tell the person about it, did you feel supported afterwards?
not really. Like, I mean, I asked, like, did you get a book? Do you want a book? Do you want me to sign it? And they were like, oh, I got a book. And I was like, well, why didn't you get it through me? Like, well, like, why didn't you let me sign the book? Like, if you knew me, why wouldn't you want me to sign the book? Why would you just go? Like, I did want people to go to Amazon and purchase the book, of course, because, that's how you produce your sales and you get your money. But if you did that, why wouldn't you still say, oh, I did get a book? Like, why would I have to ask you, like, did you get a book? I have some books, would you like me to give you one? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, I got one. So I still didn't feel the support. Like, and they're on social media and they're not on there, but they could at least like shared my post to say, hey, go check out this book. It's really good, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you don't want your personal business out there or whatever, you can say, hey, I know somebody who wrote this book, go check it out, that kind of a thing. So no, I didn't feel the support.
Girl, I feel and so I'm gonna ask this because I will tell you that. Did you think it had anything to do with kind of sort of like a fear? Like, were there people that you didn't tell in addition to your mate that you didn't tell because you were afraid that they weren't going to? You were afraid to tell anybody, like you're like I don't want to even tell nobody. I'm writing this book, or I'm gonna launch this business. I don't even want to tell nobody because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of how they're gonna receive it.
I think I told the people that were most important to me and the people I knew that was supported, like my kids, my mom, my sisters. Like they knew there was a book. They knew I wrote a book. They knew the book was being published, and I knew they supported and celebrated me. So I felt like with an accomplishment like that, I wanted everybody that knew about it to be able to celebrate with me.
Okay,
So
yes.
I think that's why I limited who I told, because I wanted people to celebrate it with me and not be like, oh, you wrote a book. What you write a book about? Like, what's so important about your life that you can write a book? Like that kind of a thing. I didn't want that. So I wanted those who knew about it to celebrate it with me, because I felt like it was an accomplishment and I wanted to be celebrated.
I'm with you. And look, anybody that's listening, if you are if she on your street, if we on your street at any point, I want you to type in there on my street, any of that. If you felt any of those emotions, right? If you second that emotion, I want you to put I second the emotions on my street. But listen, we're gonna bring up, well, he didn't got up, but we're gonna bring up our special guest in a few moments. But we're gonna treat our special guest the same way. So Hope is going to ask our special guest his 6-word story, and she's going to also ask him all of the questions that we asked our other guests. So I'm going to tell you that our special guest for today is none other than, well, I call him the WB, my Wooga Bear, but it's Kurt Wall. So we're gonna go ahead and say my husband Kurt Wall, and it's gonna be pure comedy. I can see right now. I hope I don't have to mute his mic, okay? Because he's been to cut up. I'm gonna hold this button right here in case he gonna tell Jimmy family secrets. I'm gonna go on and bring him up to the stage. So come on to the stage, baby. Hey, babe.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Your screen.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. Hold up.
Awesome.
All right, there we go.
I'm so glad to be here with my wife tonight. We are in 2 different locations. I'm in Atlanta visiting one of our sons, and she, of course, is in Elk Ridge, Maryland. Hi, Hope. Good to see you.
Hi, Kurt. Good to see you.
Yes.
Well, Kurt, before we start, I'm gonna do everything in decency and order because Hope get ready to get me right now because I done forgot something now. So Hope, would you please open us up in prayer?
I will. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for today, Lord Father God. We thank you for Stephanie and Kurt. We know that everything that she does is because he stands by her, he supports her. So, Lord Father God, we thank you for their marriage. We thank you for this opportunity to come together. And we pray that someone will hear something that will just shift and transform their lives, and just continue to lead us forward in the way that you want us to go. And all these things we ask in your mighty and precious name. Amen.
Amen. So we listen, you all. We want this is quick. This is a Q. This is gonna be engaging. So
Okay.
I'm gonna fall back because I want Hope to go ahead and Kurt. I hope you got your 5-word story, and Hope will give you if you need some help along the way because we all have a story. And we're gonna
Okay.
ask you about yourself before we get into you giving all the family business. But we're gonna get into it. So Hope, I'm gonna fall back. You go ahead and you question our special guest, Mr. Kurt.
Okay.
What Kurt Wall with a K. Don't y'all be calling him Curtis. His name is Kurt. Kurt. All right.
There is a Curtis, but he's from East Baltimore. I'm from East Baltimore. Kurt is the guy that you see on the screen here and goes to work every day. Curtis is that other dude that when you mess with his family, he comes around every once in a while. Curtis here today.
All right. Well, Curtis, so good to have you on tonight. We know that you're always behind the scenes and helping Stephanie, so it's great to have you on here. So, what is your 5 or 6 word story?
Okay, I think survivor is one word, and I say survivor because statistically, where I come from as a child of a single mother, an absentee father, what I've seen as a young child and even as a young adult, statistically, I probably should not be here, but I am here. I am thankful for my mother. My mother unfortunately passed when I was a child. She had Lou Gehrig disease, and I was with her the last few years of her life. Didn't quite understand the gravity of what she was going through at the time, but she had instilled in me um, about being resilient and knowing the Lord and being, surrounding myself with good people. The other word would be manhood. I was able to surround myself with like-minded men, and actually we grew up together. I did go into the Marine Corps, and I remember going into boot camp, and that is really a man's type of place to be. Didn't know what the heck I was doing there when I got there, but I was thankful that I got through that. Um, Through my mother, I also learned the protection of womanhood. I guess that's a phrase. I have sisters that are very protective of any woman, to include my grandbabies and my lovely wife. I do feel like I am a protector and a provider for my family. Family is a big thing with me. I really enjoy my family. I love being with my family members, even some friends that are more like family because sometimes family is not always blood. Um, Celebrate and celebration. I try to celebrate folks in my family, even with my wife, and even the smallest of things that she does. Um, I do celebrate her. So I think that's about 5 or 6 words that I've given so far.
Well, we appreciate that, and we definitely know you are a protector as you were um, a police officer. Now I know you're with the sheriff's department, so we appreciate, and in the military, so we appreciate your protection. And I know how you feel about your family, so those are definitely strong words for you. So the other thing we usually ask, and I'm pretty sure Stephanie prepared you, is usually we ask that you have an item or some type of object that means something to you. Do you have that with you?
Some
I
type of
actually
item.
didn't prepare him. I didn't prepare him.
What? Wow.
Um, well, I do have the a bulldog tattoo on my chest, so
Okay.
that's always with me. And basically, in my fraternity, and then in the Marine Corps, Chesty Puller, which was one of the famous Marines, and he always had this bulldog, and in our fraternity, we say the tenacity of a bulldog. I'm sure any dog could have tenacity or any person, but the bulldog represents tenacity for me. So I do carry that on my chest, my tattoo, and it's just something to remind me that that I'm a man and that I have to take care of my family and take care of myself and those type of things. So I have my tattoo.
All right, well, that works. So I think we're ready to get on with this conversation. I'm pretty sure people are pretty surprised to see you. Stephanie, you coming on back up here?
Ah, yes. Oh well, hope we got to ask him if there's any place in the world he would.
So, Kurt, if there's anywhere you can go in the world and your options are either a mountainy type vacation or a beach vacation, which one are you choosing?
What was the first vacation?
You can either go to like a mountain type resort
Oh, mountain. Okay.
or beach resort.
Well, I've been to plenty of beach resorts, and because I love watching my wife walk away from me in those little skimpy outfits.
Oh Lord, I can see right now. I'm gonna have to go ahead
So,
on and mute
so
this mic already. Go
and we
ahead.
have and we have been to the mountains of Colorado. So again, she wear tight jeans and like see her walk away with
Lord
those
have
on. So
mercy. Where's his mic?
what? Well, I guess if I had to go someplace, I'm a jokester, but I really love. I think would like to go more of a terrain mountain type places with Stephanie. I would like to take her to Park City, Utah. I've been there a couple times there by myself to visit one of our sons, and I happened to have gone there during the Christmas holiday, and it's very very beautiful there. I mean, it kind of reminds me of downtown Elegant City, the way they decorate things, but it has the mountains in the background. Now, I don't ski, but I do like to go to the ski lodges and watch folks and meet new friends. I really enjoy meeting new people all the time, and so I say the mountain resorts right now, Park City, Utah.
All right, well, there we go. So we're going to the mountains, Stephanie. Thank
Then we
you.
going to the mountains. I had questions. I just said that. Look, I mean, look, and for all my listeners, I asked my husband the same question I asked him whenever we go somewhere that's new to us, and particularly in places that maybe it's not so many people look like us. I was like, how many representatives did you see? Because I want to go where I feel welcome. I don't want to go somewhere where they might say, well, what these people doing here? But he assured me that in Park City, Utah, there was some other folks and they were very welcoming. And so I need to know I was gonna feel welcome. So if you're in Park City, Utah, let me know now what y'all got going on. So all right. Well, me and Hope got some questions for you, Kurt.
Okay.
So Kurt, what the people want to know is what made the first question we have for you is what do men really say when they're see, okay, he gonna tell it because y'all can tell us right now he ain't got no cut card. What do men really be saying when we just bust up? That's what y'all. That's how y'all say the way you all look at it. And does it seem like just like we're just busting up? What do you really say about us saying we're gonna launch a business? So what did you really say when I said I'm gonna go ahead and start this business? What did you really say to yourself?
I really said I believe that you could do it because I believe that my wife Stephanie has the ability and the talent to do anything that she wanted to do. I mean, if she wanted to open up a trash company, I believe she would be the best trash collector and find out how to recycle anything. So Stephanie and our children would say the same thing. We support her. She has done a lot of things and have ventured into different types of businesses and all. And I supported her in every one. And but she's one of the hardest working people that I know, and she puts in a lot of time and passion in anything and everything that she does, and she continues to educate herself and being the best person in that particular field of business also. So I really, with you, Stephanie, I really believe that you had the ability and the talent to be the best at what you were doing, and surprisingly, but really not surprisingly, I mean, you still keep up with your regular day job, being a great wife, a mother, and a grandmother. I mean, but one thing I could tell you about my wife, if she's one of those people that I think of more of like a camel. Horses, at least a horse will stop and get a drink of water. I don't know where I heard this from, but a camel, they just keep walking and walking, and they carry heavy loads. But then a camel just drops dead. But I pray to God that the good Lord keeps my wife around as long as possible, because sometimes she just doesn't sleep. I mean, it's just me, her, and our little 25-pound dog in the house. We go upstairs and go to bed, and she's still in the same spot. The next morning, I'll get up and check on her. Her computer may be still up, and I see a bunch of M's or Z's going across the screen. But she probably just dozed off. But she really is a hard worker and very passionate. So I'm very, I didn't have no problem when she said that she wanted to go and start this business venture.
That thing, no, that's occurred. That is too funny. But y'all, this is just like we say about Sabrina, the introvert that wants to be extrovert. He's an introvert until he get to know you. He's an introvert extroverted. But y'all, I believe me, he is an introvert. But he is an extrovert. He's an introvert that wants to be extrovert. He's been around me too long. But let me tell y'all this. So, Curry, now we're going to get down to the me and Hope, and we're not going to let you slide with that one. Although I know you're telling the truth, and you have been very supportive. But true or false? Let's get down to the true or false questions. True or false questions. True or false? On occasion, you do look at me and say, so.
Well, I got to tell you no. Because sometimes, baby girl, sometimes my wife she'll just wake up with an idea, and in her mind, she believes she can do it. I'm like, oh, pump the brakes. We ain't doing that. So yeah, she's not afraid to tell me or tell people that she trusts what's on her mind and her thought process. But yeah, I do have to, give her the look or the eye sometimes. What you talking about, Willis?
Right, but wait a minute, Kurt. Do you ever say, well, wait a minute, question the amount of money that comes out of account sometimes?
Yeah, yes, I have. Because you do spend money. You do spend money. And then she'll try to counter say that, well, you like this and you like that and this and that. I said, no, baby, no, we're not. We're talking about you right now. Don't switch it to me.
Let's talk about it, baby. Since you brought it all up and everything. So you mean on occasion, my husband, he likes really nice suits, you all, and so much so that I can think of I can't think of any time, to be honest with you, that he actually bought a suit off the rack. Now, maybe it was, I just don't recall it. Once, maybe in all the 25 years we've been married. So he has a gentleman who comes to town from Taiwan, I believe it is. And they custom make suits. Now, if you custom make anything, it don't cost the same amount of money as money, right, Cole? It don't cost the same money as the rack suits, right? Okay. So all I know is that there's quite a few extra zeros when he finishes ordering multiple suits with the gentleman. So on occasion, when he talk about my purchases and a couple of zeros, I just say, oh well, baby, it wasn't. It's not as much as you paid for those two suits.
Yes.
And he'd be like, well, wait a minute, we're talking about you right now. So y'all know, sometimes you have these conversations. But baby, I want to ask you this other question. Now, have you ever and be honest, because people are listening and they're experiencing this. You have a fraternity that you're a part of. You have a lot of your men groups. Do you all ever? And I don't know how many of them have people that they are dating or married to that have businesses. But do you all talk about? Do you ever think that some of the people that they're working with, or they're supporting, or they're following, are frauds?
I think some of the guys that I be around sometime, they don't know the ins and outs of what their wife is getting into. So they're very cautious, or they try to. I think we as men, I mean, we like to see stuff and touch stuff. But women, I think, are a little bit more emotional and have a little bit more patience than us. So I'm waiting for some money to come through. I'm talking big bucks, because our account at Wells Fargo ain't been changing. So I'm like, well, I see stuff coming out, and then I see the initials SW next to like my American Express card, and then Stephanie goes by. it's easier to ask for permission. I mean, forgiveness than permission. And that's she does that all the time. But I love her. I really do. I know she's she's
You
going
know,
to do
I
okay.
feel this mic. I
But
feel this.
but yeah, I do question some things that come on. I get mad about it and have a discussion with her, and I try taking her credit card, but then she finds it, and it's almost comical. But I believe Stephanie's going to be fine.
So, baby, so Hope, what you got for us? I see what I'm saying. You see, it's just saying.
Honestly, I love the honesty and I love the transparency that you all are giving, because there are a lot of couples that are probably struggling with how do you support your spouse as they're on this entrepreneur journey. Like, how do you support them? And Kurt is saying that he supports you, he celebrates you. There may be times like he want to be like, oh, you spend a little too much, but at the same time he still supports you. And I think that honesty, what he's saying, is going to help somebody else, because there are many couples out there who are entrepreneurs, who are looking to on entrepreneurship, and they may not feel that support. So I think it's important what you all are sharing. And again, we all know Stephanie is a total extrovert. Um, and of course, that's why she has me on the show to help balance her out. And then Kurt balances her out at home, obviously, because he's an introvert. So again, I think the transparency and the honesty is really going to help somebody. So, Kurt, with everything that Stephanie does between her full time job, her part time job, and all her businesses, how do you rein her in or keep her centered and grounded so that you all still have your time together as husband and wife?
Well, I often, I mean, it's just a daily thing with Steph. I mean, Stephanie is my best friend, and she knows it. She's spoiled, and she knows it, but but it's my job as her husband, to be there for my wife and to let her, not necessarily let her do what she wants to do, but I try to be the person to that conscience to say, hey baby, I know you've been doing this, but let's think about this thing, or you need to slow up, or and she, she does the same thing with me, because I'm the type of person who really just talks to anyone, or I have a brother and he says I'll talk to a rock or whatever, but with Stephanie, I think reeling her in is just basically the open communication that we have, and that we don't get easily offended when one says to the other about what we're doing, those type of, as long as it's not going to hurt her or hurt the family, we talk about it. I mean, if something that's detrimental, in our police background, both of us spent many years, as police officers. I'm still in law enforcement, and so we got the little spotty senses that come up every sometimes about certain things that might be going on. And but we just, I think with the open communication is how we keep things or reel things in.
Okay, that's good. So, now you have your own business as well. Like, Stephanie's not the only entrepreneur in the family, because you also have your own business. So can you tell the folks what kind of business you have?
Yes, I do. I have a business. The name of my business is Wall to Wall Security LLC, and basically we are a consulting company. And when I was a full time police officer, I did a lot of security, for folks where you're at a particular site. But now, with all the experience and the education and stuff that we have gained over the years, we have we have pivoted, and now we're in the consulting business, where we talk about HR issues and recruitment, how to make your home and business more safe, internet security, those type of things. So it's a big umbrella of items that we try to push out and share with folks who may be interested in securing their whole self, to include their homes and their businesses, their personnel, recruitment, how to keep people. So we have a lot of experience, and just bring that all into a consulting mode, and then able with the internet and with COVID, learning how to utilize technology to push our business out. Um, so it's working. It's a little slow, but it is working.
Babe, you know what? You know, I was like, mm-hmm. Because you know, because I'm the extrovert. I'm the PIO and the PR person of the business. So
Yes,
I was
you
waiting
are.
to hear this. I was like, come
Yes.
on, baby, give it to us. So wait a minute. So I do want you to tell them, and thank you, Hope. I do want you to talk to the men now. We recognize because even when we go on vacation, and I've been we'll next month on the 24th actually will be 25 years for us of years of marriage. And even when we go places, people are like, "Oh, they're like newlyweds." We're like, "Whoa, oh, that's my boo. We're not newlyweds." You know, we recognize it's a. You know, we both have been married before, so this. Listen, the second time around was wonderful for us. But here is the thing: I want you to talk to the men, the spouses, the partners, the people out there who have the people like me. This, you know, we in there, we in it, we always in it. You don't understand it. There's sometimes there's more money going out than coming in. You know, and you know they may not understand that in order to make money in the beginning, you have to spend some money. Talk to the people that are stressed out about it and how they can best support their mate, because that's because it's tough. You know, talk about that.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. I mean, we are making money in our businesses, but it does. You do have to invest in yourself. I mean, I'm learning. You know, we spend so much time working for others, and in police work, all you do is deal with people problems and issues, and you see the worst of human nature. But I think with what we're doing now, with my wife, and then with my business, and then she is the backbone of my business also. I mean, she works very, very hard. And publicly, Stephanie, I say thank you for that, and I appreciate you. And so yes, it is a daily. I wouldn't say a day-to-day grind, but because Stephanie and I, we were really a team. We're really it's a partnership, and I believe that our union is blessed. And I truly believe that God has blessed us. And and we don't. People have said to us that they thought we were newlyweds, and because of the way I am around her, and the way she is around me, and because we're always skinning and grinning in each other's faces, and I love it. But Stephanie is the most important part of my life right now, and I'm glad that she's with me. And so I just think that because we know.
Wait a minute, baby, because you know I'll now let you talk about me all day and twice on Sunday, but I want you,
Mhm.
but I want you to answer this question: What what can somebody do to be more supportive? If you are a spouse, talk to the spouse that's not supportive. Tell them how they can be more supportive. Like you know what, like talk to that spouse. If it was your homeboy, he was sitting there and said, "Oh my God, man, my wife or my girlfriend has started this business." And she complained that I'm not supportive. What? How would you motivate? How would you inspire? What would you say to him
Well,
or her?
first of all, as a man and as a husband, you have to live within your masculinity, and part of that is supporting your spouse, supporting your partner, that whatever they decide to do. I think with me, I do say to my friends that it's important that I honor her, and I let folks know. I mean, I've been joked by my friends that I love being around my wife so much, and I don't care because I do. I enjoy being with my wife, Stephanie. I do honor her. I support her, and I think I said earlier that I do celebrate her, even the smallest things. Fixing coffee in the morning. I tell her daily how I feel about her, that I love her, and that and this is no joke. I mean, some days I'll come in, or it doesn't matter, anytime during the day. I'll say, "Did I tell you I loved you this hour?" And she was like, "No, you didn't." Or she may say, "Yes, you did." So, but I truly mean that. So I think by supporting and showing the support, I mean, of how I feel about her, the collaboration that we both have with our friends, external friends. I mean, a lot of you kind of draw people to you that are like you, and people know us. Um, so I hope that helped out, Dr.
No,
Stephanie.
yeah, well, thank you, dear husband. Yes, but I want to ask you some because I know he's a he's an introvert. See how the introvert's coming up out of him, and he also is very humble, so he won't tell you these things. So there's some things that he does, and maybe he doesn't think of these things as things that he does that are being supportive. Maybe so. I'm going to tell you some of the things that that particularly after our kids were grown and they left the house. Because when they was here, I was still doing all of that. I was always the same person you see right now, except for imagine I had these 3 boys in here, Lord, who stand in front of the refrigerator talking about ain't no food here. For whole food, for refrigerator full of food, but ain't no food to eat because it wasn't automatically cooked, right? So I came home every day, it was cooking, and my words of Medea, cooking and cleaning and all that stuff, and make sure everybody, was straight. And going to football games and basketball games and you name it. All right, Siri, we nobody talking to you every time. So there is one of the things he does, and he does right now. He's been doing now and I want to say since 2000, since COVID started, actually, if not before. And I want to say for the past 2-3 years, he was like, you know what? Because he retired. What year did you retire from the PD?
In 2016, from after 27 years.
Right. So after when he first retired, he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna retire, and I'm a cook." My husband was not. Cooking was not his gift. He was not his ministry, and so he was like, "I'm gonna learn how to cook. I'm gonna start cooking more." Now I'm gonna tell you, he has a couple specialties, but we know that salmon and rice is his cut, and so he has a couple of special items that he makes. And is that your phone ringing, babe?
Yes, it's KJ.
I'm looking at my phone like it's my phone ringing, and so he started cooking more. And so he started doing things like I was so used to doing all the cooking. He started cooking more. He started cleaning more. Now we're gonna he started washing clothes. We got to work on that washing the clothes because maybe Lord have mercy. He washed clothes, he dried them, and then y'all, this is against the law. Who washes clothes and dry them and put them on the floor? This guy. Okay, so that's what he does. But he does wash. He tries to take care of the things so that I can be fully present in my business. And the only thing he tries to ask of me, like, somebody is hollering, Nita, baby, that thing put them clothes on that floor, and I'd be like, wait. And I can't even. I try to complain, but it's not even a complaint. It's almost like baby, you can't put the clothes on the floor. Come on, baby, right? You can't. But this is the thing. He tries to do the things, and to him, it may not be that big of a deal. But when you've been cooking and cleaning and taking care of family for all these years, and you can't. You got something got to give, and you don't want to feel like you're neglecting your family. He gives me space so that I don't feel like I'm neglecting the family. Like, baby, no, you just go here and look. And I'll be deep into it. Like right in my office, I'll be into it. He'll come, and if you've ever been here on any live with me and seen that door crack open, he walked in the middle of a meeting, wave at the people, and come and hand me my Black CEO family early morning calls. They are used to seeing him open that door up and he just after he don't even see them and hand me some coffee and some toast or some eggs or something. So I'm saying, those are the things you all is that if somebody look now, I don't like it and he gonna do it and it's his job to do it, and thank God somebody has to say it. If he sees that, because he can see first of all he act like he don't know because we have credit cards together and then I have my own. He act like he didn't know that was my name on the envelope. Stephanie Wall. He opened the thing up like, oh, I didn't know that was yours. But in the meantime, he gotta circle that number. Ooh, girl, what you spending money on? He still checks me on. He still wants to hold me accountable, and he likes to see the wins. So I'm going to tell you all, for me, the win for what you do, baby, and I publicly thank you. Is you giving me the space. One, being my biggest cheerleader. That's number one. Being my biggest cheerleader. Nobody is my number one cheerleader is you. That's the first thing. But number two is that you let me go ahead on and be grown and do my business up in here, and you're not like, oh my God, you ain't cooking. Oh my God, you ain't cleaning. Oh my God, you don't do that. And y'all, that's my last one. Now he gives me a blues, but now I every now he did cut me back a little bit. If it get out of control and he see things are really popping and I need some help, and I still try to clean my house a little bit, he'll say, well, he'll allow me to hire somebody to come here and help me out every once in a while. But he did dial me back on that. He said, you might as well wait a minute, right? So now Patty LaBelle says go ahead and clean your own house. That's a good exercise. So maybe that's what we need to keep doing. But he does allow me to let somebody come in here to bust this dust off the house every once in a while. But those are some of the things that I think is important for people to know, is that it's important to support each other in it. He'll say little things. I know when I've been too deep. And I want to bring Hope in so she can holler. Hope, I know when I'm too deep. When I'm been gone. That's right, Nita. Marriage, it's serious. Listen, I know what it got when I'm doing too much. I've been gone. I've been too deep in it because I'll use the example of, was it Saturday or was it Sunday? Saturday or Sunday this past week. I was like, yeah, let's go do something. He was like, wait a minute, you gonna give me the whole day? I'm gonna have your undivided attention? Oh no! Oh, he hurried up, went and got dressed, ready. Let's go! Let's go for a ride. You gonna go for? I mean, it was like I almost went like, okay, then you ain't got to do all of that either, right? You ain't have to. But at the same time, we can get a little too deep, and we have so the person so spouse. What you can do, if this is Stephanie talking to you, spouse or partner, what you can do to support your person is help them with balance and find a way without being accusatory to remind them that you miss them. Then remind them, like, so when they say, let's do something, you remind them, make a big old deal about when they want to spend time with you. So that reminds them that you miss them just being you. But also give them the space to grow and be their biggest cheerleader. So what you thinking, Hope? What's your thoughts? And Kurt?
Again, for me, I think, to me, what it sounds like is you both know each other's love languages. So you know what it is what you all both have to do to show and represent the love each and every day. Not to mention, like you said, you've been married for almost 25 years. So I'm pretty sure you figured it out. And I think that's what other couples have to recognize, and maybe some couples don't realize it, but you got to know your mate's love language. And I think when you know that love language, it kind of helps to keep things balanced, because you can, like you said, he didn't cook in the beginning, but he learned how to cook. So he picked up that responsibility, or doing the laundry, so you didn't always have to do it. So you could spend an extra hour or two working on your business or doing what you need to do. Whereas I'm sure there's certain things that you do, so he can spend the extra hour, 2 hours he needs to do on his business. And, so I think of things like that. And I mean, I think you all have like the right balance. And I'm pretty sure it's trial and error over the years and you're still figuring things out. But I think that's what people need to see. And I think people need to realize that there is a balance. And like Kurt said, you're his best friend. And I'm pretty sure it goes the other way, so I think y'all just need to keep going. Maybe y'all need to come on and find a day and have a whole marriage section or whatever and help people. And I'm not saying this, I'm being serious. I think either couples or marriages, because I think a lot of people don't realize that. And I can say that from a single person's perspective in dating, not all men are supportive of a woman doing multiple things. Like, to them, it's like, oh, now you don't have time for me, kind of a thing. So they feel like it's taken away from us having time together if, we're out here hustling and trying to do our thing. But then if they're out there doing their thing and they hustling and stuff, and then if we say it, we're not being supportive. So it's like you all have figured out that balance. And I think that's something that you all could share as a marriage or couples ministry, and helping other people to figure that out.
Well, I think one big thing with me is that because of my relationship with Christ and being a God-fearing man is that if I do anything that would discredit my wife, that I have to deal with my heavenly Father, and that's worse than any human father that I could have had. I mean, because so I have to live my life in such a way that is pleasing to Him, and part of that is being a good man and a good husband to Stephanie. My mother, who passed away, told me to be a good man, and that I would make a woman a good husband. So I continue to try to be that in honor of her also. So I always get a little emotional talking about my mother.
It's KJ. You met KJ. Kurt, whenever I hear our sons, and they joke that when Dad talked, that when it was growing up, when they did something disapprovingly to me, that they said that Dad be talking to them like they not related, like who did something to my wife, this kind of thing. But let me tell you, we joke about it, but they understand where it comes from. They understand and I get it. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Miss Mother Alice, which is my mother-in-law, because she was already gone. She had already transitioned many years before when Kurt was in high school, many years before we met. But I feel like I know her because all the way when he talks about his mother, and his mother has been gone for many years. But they say if you find a man that loves his mother, right, that loves his mother, but listens to his mother in a way, but what his mother says about how he needs to treat another woman, right, and by honoring and respecting her, because his mother would disapprove of him, not right, of the way, and his God, they said, I'd have found you a good one, right? And that's one of the things that I can appreciate. And and here's the deal. We watch Friends, Family, and more. So we like where's everybody? We all started out together, all these couples, and everybody is just like, they're not, for whatever reason, their relationships are falling apart. And I'm going to tell you, we are real clear, and let's just say, hope we might need to do a whole another show on that. We're real clear that I'm going to tell you right now, there's only three things, quite frankly, that ruin relationships. 3, period. Sex, money, and children. That's the 3 things. Those 3 things get caused friction in relationships. Sex, money, and children. We arguing over money. We arguing over sex. And we arguing over, we have disagreements over. But my husband said we don't argue. He said we don't argue. He's like, we don't argue, but we have disagreements over sex. You can have disagreements, right? You can have of all those 3 things. And here's the deal. And we don't have no disagreements. You don't have no disagreements over sex. You know what? I think it's just a lack of communication. But that's a whole nother talk show, right? There is got to be real communication around everything. And I will tell you, and Kurt, you can tell them whether or not, I know one of the things that we had to have a real conversation was, I realized that as an extrovert, you think everybody can read your mind. Look, we think everybody's a mind reader. Can't you just see, or you just know? Well, I realize he can't see, he don't know, and pay attention, but he does understand English, right? The spoken language, the king's language, the queen's language. And so so he basically like, I don't know how to say, what do you need? The men are, look, there's no gray area. They black and white. And I realized that I have to be real careful. Don't come to him with a problem, because if you come with a problem, he thinks you need him to solve it. Right? That's not, we just be talking. We don't want you to solve nothing. We're just trying to share this thing. So don't come with the problem. Don't come talk about it, because men think you trying to. Men think you want them to solve the problem. I ain't know you just talking. Look, so they trying to fix the problem. Then you mad because he trying to fix something when you ain't asked him to fix. So I realized, okay, look here, don't be, if you come, when you want to fix something, tell him, okay, what somebody said, Nita said, I'm in a season where I need to connect with like-minded people, specifically people that won't pull from my gift and creativity. What are some tips? Girl, look, let me tell you right now. One, and y'all, Kurt and Hope chime in. One, be specific. When I say be specific, you just put on here that you need to connect with like-minded people. You put so then you connect with those people, and y'all heard it said about 1,000 different ways. And somebody just said to me the other day, I just saw somebody posted it. I want to say, was it oh God, was it Sean? Sean, somebody just posted. I think it was Sean that said, and you guys have heard it said a different kind of way, but I'm going to say it that way. Look, first of all, stop telling. We didn't stop. I had to do the same thing, y'all. Stop telling your dreams, your hopes, and your dreams. And Dr. Les Brown said, stop telling your hopes and your dreams to people with small minds. Your big dreams to people with small minds. So I'm telling you, Nita, look, find you just one or two people that are always big dreaming like you are. And those are the people that you're rolling with. I'm talking, you can still, love on your people from afar, but you can't spend your 24 hours a day, because they said it's the 5 to 7 people that you hang around with. You are the birds of the feather flock together. If the 5 or 7 people that you hang around with are short-sighted, small-minded, and ain't going nowhere, well, then you are the 6th or the 8th person that's small-minded, short-sighted, and ain't going nowhere, because you cannot grow where you cannot be nourished. You follow, right? You guys have heard about the seed.
You can't plant a seed in soil that's not fertile, because it's never going to grow. So if you plant a seed in sand, it is not going to grow. If you're not putting it in the right dirt and watering it and nurturing it, then it's not going to grow. But Nita, one of the things you have to do is connecting with, like Stephanie said, connect with like-minded people. You have to create healthy boundaries, and you have to have boundaries for the people, whether it's family, friends, whatever. You got to have healthy boundaries and not allow them to pull from your gift and your creativity, because when they pull from it, it exhausts you. So when you create healthy boundaries, it helps you to bring in the right people. And sometimes you got to have a small circle of friends. Not everybody is your friend. That's one thing. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody is meant to be in your life. It truly is. Some people are in your life for a lifetime, a reason, and a season, and you got to figure out what part they fulfill in your life, and not allow somebody who was just in your life for a reason. Make sure that you're not trying to make them a seasonal person, and that they're still in your life, because that is going to damper what it is that you're trying to grow.
Yeah, absolutely, Hope. I mean, some folks you may just have to leave them alone. Not that you don't love them, but you just leave them alone, and you continue on doing and being who you are, and living a life that is pleasant, to the eyes of God, and people in your family that will be proud of you, whether it's a parent or a great parent, or an auntie or uncle, because our ancestors, I believe, are looking upon all of us and saying, go Hope, go Stephanie, go Nita, those type of things, and because they are very proud of us, and they want us to succeed and be the best person that we could be. And then it's for us to pass that on to our children and nieces and nephews and grandchildren, because we're only here for a moment, and everything and everybody got an expiration date, so we ain't gonna be here for long. But I think it's important that you establish yourself, so when you do leave this earth, that somebody will say, yeah, Hope did. It was a woman named Hope. There was a woman named Stephanie Wall or Nita, and this is the type of person that he or she was, or were. So, spend your time wisely and do the right things.
And thank you, Kurt, and Hope. And Nita, let me tell you this: ask yourself a couple questions. And I mean, and this is for anything that you do, anything. So one, I know you probably heard this before, but I'm going to tell you to do this again. It works. It may seem hokey to some, but it works. So for whatever season, whether you're talking about your professional life or your personal life, I need you to write down, just put down, write on a piece of paper, to get one 8x10 piece of paper, write down one side 1 through 10, leave about 2 or 3 inches in between each number. And I'm seriously, I mean, I think it may sound hokey, but it's not. It works. I promise you. I want you to write down the lies that you have been telling yourself around, what your gifts and your creativity. What have you said about how you can grow being around people that's just always sucking from you? What have you been telling yourself about how it controls you? Right? Write down all those things, whether it be professional or personal, or just period. What have you been telling yourself about how you operate, or how you draw people to you, or whatever it is? Write down those 10 things. And if you can't think of 10, then write down the 5. Or if it's 20, write them, but we don't need to do 20, just do 10. And then I want you to do an affirmation. And I'll give you an example. Like some of my clients, some of my folks, they say that, I'm terrible with money. I'm terrible with money. I said, so that's a lie you've been telling yourself. If you've been telling yourself that you're terrible with money forever, then you will manifest it. Whatever you guys listen, if your conscious mind only knows what your subconscious mind feeds it. So if you feed your subconscious mind, girl, you know what I'm saying? If you feed your subconscious mind that you are, I'm not good enough, or I draw negative people to me, or whatever it is, your conscious mind just say, okay. All right, it acts upon that. It says, you know what? We don't draw good people to us, and we'll be going to them same old tired people. And so I'm telling you, write down those things, those lies that you tell yourself, and then in between. So write that down in pencil, and then in a pen, I want you to write down under the lie an affirmation that will combat that lie. Right? So if the lie was, I am terrible with money, then the affirmation could be, money flows to me and through me easily. That's the one I like. Money flows to me and through me. And the reason I say to me, because money has to come to us. God said it was already ours to begin with. We just don't go. We don't go get it. But we say through me because money's not meant to be kept. Money's meant to be, to support things. So, we need money to live. But for my case, I want to support my church. I want to support my friends, family, and organizations that I think need to be blessed. So in order to do that, I'm gonna need some extra funds. I got to pay the bills, right? So I'm telling you, money flows to me and through me easily. And then I want you to read the lie and the affirmation. Read the lie and the affirmation for 30 days. And after the 30 days, I want you to erase the lie that's written in pencil. So the only thing that's left is the affirmation. And the reason I'm asking you to do that, you said, Stephanie, why do that? The reason we do that is because although our mind can focus on, we can look and we can multitask, but we can only focus on one thing. One of my mentors, Trevor Ott, he says that powerful people ask powerful questions, because powerful questions steer our focus, and we only get what we focus on. And we only get what we focus on. So that's the same for whatever we focus on. So we believe whatever we feed our mind, that's exactly where we're going. So it's like once we can see something, we can see a goal. Once we see ourselves doing it, we can achieve it. But if we can't see ourselves doing it, we can't achieve it. But back to those friends, I want to tell you that if it's anything or anybody that is not elevating you, ask yourself this question: if being around these people, are they supporting me? Are they helping me to grow? And are they pouring into me? If the answer is not yes to all three, then you have got to leave them people alone, or those situations alone. And as far as pulling on your gifts, remember that you all out of free. You all out of free. So listen, remember, if you should be in the room with people that are pouring, if stuff is pouring and coming at you so much, and when you go in there, make sure you go in there and giving away your creativity, because other people are giving away their creativity. You should be in there. It should be a collaboration. Right now, Nita, you can collaborate, but I have additional questions for you. But that's a whole coaching session. But I will tell you that if you are feeling like your gifts, you're being pulled upon, and your gifts are not being used adequately, I would love to have a conversation with you. And you, girl, just go ahead on to my link tree. Just go to link tree, Dr. Stephanie Wall, and you can find. I'll put it in the chat here. But I would love to talk to you about it. But you got it going on, girl. I already know it. but you can't let people pull on you. So Hope, it is 7:30. We're going to thank our guest, Mr. Kurt Wall. Thank you, honey, for coming on here and being honest and sharing your truth. You all, we believe in giving our flowers while people can have to give them their flowers while they can smell them and see them and read them. So can you give my love, Kurt Wall, some flowers? Give it. What was your takeaway? What's one thing that you learned today, or just give him a little kudos before he dials off? Nita, we Facebook friends, even better. Send me a message in Messenger, Nita.
Well, Kurt, I just want to thank you for coming on and being honest and transparent, and just thank you. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, honey. Finish saying what you were saying.
I was saying to Hope, thank you, and good night, everyone.
Good night, love. So I know you gotta get back. He's in Atlanta. So thank you for coming on tonight. So you can go back to your vacation. Talk to you soon.
well, everyone, we thank you for joining us tonight with our special guest, Mr. Kurt Wall, Stephanie's husband. Well, I pray that you all receive something that will just help to shift and transform your life. And just remember to always be supportive of your mate or your spouse, even your friends. Be supportive. Support them in their endeavors. Pour into them, because if you're pouring into them, hopefully they're pouring into you. But if they're not pouring into you, then you may want to relook and see whether they're truly your friend. So we thank you all for joining us tonight. Again, allow your light to shine. We all have a light inside of us, and it is meant to shine a light and to lead someone out of their darkness. So have a good night. See you all next week.